Ahoy there! So I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. It's ugly. So things didn't exactly work out the way we'd hoped with those Chinese air valves. Here, let me show you. So see how these not brass looking, even though the advertisement said brass? Thanks for nothing there, Amazon. This one here that I've got the tag around has a leak, and it's leaking badly right over here. So what's the solution every time that stuff doesn't work out for you? Go back to the internet. I was able to find the actual Clippard correct valve, the TV-3S. That's Tango Victor 3 Sierra for you, military dudes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the Chinese junk off and put the real stuff on. So, got all these air valves that I need to be doing servicing on. I said to myself, don't bother starting it because they're all going to leak. But then I thought, since we have Windex, I'm going to go ahead and light it off and hopefully build air pressure. And if I do build air pressure, then I'm going to use a twist tie to mark so I can tell which one's leaking. Now I'm going to turn on my last power switch. Now, one thing that's really important, when we light it off, we want to make sure to run the RPMs up to 1,000 pretty quickly. We don't want it to lope too badly. We don't want it going brum, brum, brum. But at the same time, we don't want to run it up too fast because there isn't going to be oil at the top of the engine. Actually, it'd be ideal if I could turn it over. Oh, there's an F-22 Raptor. What would be ideal, like if this was a petrol engine, is I would just turn off the ignition, turn over the engine to build up pressure so that I could get oil in the top part of the engine. Unfortunately, in this case, what's most likely going to happen is as soon as I turn it over, it's going to start. So when it does start, I'm going to ramp it up enough so that it's running and not loping, but not so much that the dry upper end is going to wear out. Here we go. Clear. See, just like I thought, it started right up. So what I'm doing is I'm actually running it at about 800 RPM just because that's about what feels right. And now we're just waiting for the air to build up because my air are obviously at 0. All right, we got some leaking going on, just like I expected. Now I'm going to grab the Windex and see if I can find it. Boy, my leg's in the way. Nothing there. Oh, we got a good leak right here. Okay, so this one's leaking for sure. No change. Oh, wow. This is one of those eBay switches. Look at that, the switch broke. Oh.
What'd you do?
It took.
Oh.
It was leaking out around here. See, it still does it. Yep, the switch itself is bad. Fortunately, I bought those new switches.
Here they go.
Okay, so now that I know it's this whole switch, I'm just going to put a twist tie on it so that when the whole system is depressurized, I'll know which one to change. Now, one last thing we're going to do is we're going to cycle the suspension. Oh wow, the suspension's actually already up.
Really?
I didn't realize that. Yep, the suspension was left in the up position. You can tell because if you look at my switch, really zoom in when you need to. See the switch here? That's the run position, and I have it set up that way so that when this is released, it's in run. That's my suspension dump valve. Now, when I flip it like this and flip that, it'll dump the suspension and the bus will go down. Okay, so that switch I showed you, I'm going to go ahead and dump the suspension, and Morgan's going to watch at the top of the tire there and see how if the bus articulates back down. All right, okay, so we have just enough time before we have to run and get the kit again to try running it and see if things are going to work. So let's give it a shot. And then I've got a twist tie that I'm going to use to figure that, so I can mark each one that's leaking. Let me go ahead and turn it on. Damn it. Can't show too much skin on the channel. We were hoping to be able to get you some wildlife pictures, but so far we haven't had any luck finding anything. But I tell you what, we're going to keep our eyes out, and if we do find some wildlife, we'll be sure to let you know. Well, we still haven't seen any moose, but we're going to keep looking.